Welcome back, everyone, to the back nine of the 2022 Santiam Open of round one. I'm Scott Withers, here with Jeff Korns.
Yeah, how's it going, Scott?
It's good. I mean, it's cool to get to do audio for a tournament that happened just a couple weeks ago. So thanks to our coverage sponsors, Flight Towel, Upper Park Disc Golf, and of course Resistance Discs.
Yeah, we got a tight grouping up at the front. Couple 4 downs, couple 3 downs. And you guys are looking to maybe pick up the pace just a little bit in the back nine. Were you guys checking scores at all throughout your round?
I was doing live scoring. I think Bryan was maybe doing the paper scorecard. So I wasn't. Oh, maybe I was. I don't know. James was kicking my butt, so I knew it. Never mind. I was checking scores.
Yeah,
I knew that Proctor and probably you were both spanking us at this point.
Yeah, not gonna lie, I think I might have you, or we might be tied. I think I started off 3 down through 3, but like you, followed it up with quite a few pars.
Yeah. Hole 10, 320 feet. Unfortunately, it's not 420 feet the wrong direction, because that's where I just went. There is no out of bounds on this hole, so the cart path should be OB, but it's not, because as a course designer, I never thought anyone would go over it.
Yeah, this one says 320. I think it plays, like, even though it's pretty kind of downhill, I think it plays almost true to 320.
Yeah. I don't even have words for this anymore. I'm glad this one didn't work.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I'm
this
rooting
one
against anyone, but I'm glad that didn't work.
Lewis has a good enough set of tools to throw just a slight backhand turnover.
Yeah. Or backhand hyzer maybe down that line that he went. I don't know what it looks like, but I know that's not what it looks like.
Oh. Were you trying to run that or just...
Oh, yeah. I was 3 down through 9. Frustration was at like a, I don't know, 5.5 or 6 out of 10 right now, and it was higher than that before I birdied hole 9. So I was still in like, screw it, we're running everything mode.
I think Bryan definitely wants that one back. That's his comfort range towards the edge of circle 1 and just kind of a misfire.
Yeah. We should birdie this hole. Like, that's how I feel. This one needs to be birdied.
Yeah, I think everyone on my card, maybe one person picked up the birdie here, but I don't think anyone even put it inside circle 1. Like, again, it's right there.
I watched you guys because we were the card behind you, and then I watched Proctor bang a big pot from like 50 on it, and I'm just thinking, like, I just missed a 15-footer, and I look over and he's banging a 50-footer. Like, why am I here? I should just TD the tournament and sit at the clubhouse and be warm.
You're right. He banged the big putt right in front of me. I felt ready to go, pumped to try to, keep running with him, and I missed the basket and I missed it again, and I was in your neck of the woods, a little frustrated, close to that, maybe closer to a 6 or 7 out of 10.
Yeah, a little subtle change on this hole. We moved the tee pad to the right just a little bit this year, and took away the dead straight shot and made players either throw a little bit of a turnover backhand or this forehand line that was honestly kind of tight through these branches. You had to start on a little ante to miss the first tree and then like just get barely inside the next one, but both Justin and I threw pretty good ones there.
Yeah, this was a great tweak, I think. We'll see if Lewis has a... Oh, look at that. An air shot. He could have thrown that on the last hole.
Could have thrown roller on this one. This makes way more sense than like 3 of them that he's thrown. Although if he smashed a roller on this one, he was probably going in the creek long, so maybe I don't blame him. Bryan, from the money range of about 60, that one got plenty of air under it and comes down next to the basket, and he'll just take a par and move on. I think both Justin and I were pretty happy to have our drives this close here.
Yeah, I'm not going to complain about that. I thought about the forehand. It seemed like you were really going to have to stretch it out. But, definitely definitely a solid option, I'd say.
When we were designing the tee box the day before and Zach and I were riding, looking at it, I thought that I was going to throw backhand turnover. And then I didn't throw it at all, didn't practice it a single time. And then when I got up there, I was just like, why don't I just, like, my forehand's good enough. Let's just 360, just throw a stock, like, kind of flexy nuke. And that's something that I enjoy throwing, is like that kind of left to right flexing sidearm. Like, just do it and get your birdie. So, couple twos, couple threes, and we move into hole 12, which kind of, to my surprise, played as the toughest hole on this course by quite a bit.
I definitely see it. You know, it's that par 4-7 potentially that I think can be one of the trickier ones, but I definitely see it here on hole 12 as well. We got a long pro level par 3 at 395 feet. You got cart path over to the right out of bounds. And then we got the bunker on the left and the green as well.
Yeah, basket location was a little left of where it was in that video. That was just, again, keeping it out of the way of the golfers the day before. I've got this hole, I think, every year we've played it. And with that, like, 10-speed fairway driver, I kind of left it a little too low this time. I didn't have time to come back. Justin let this go, and I thought it was okay. And then I realized that path comes up real quick on that right side if you're not like tracking towards the basket.
Yeah, that path does come up. I wish I put this one in play better. Just kind of turfed it into the ground. I got a little nervous after I watched Proctor turn his over and basically head towards where Bryan was. And we thought maybe that big tree was on the front side of the path from back on the tee box. But when we got up there, we quickly realized that way out of bounds.
Yeah, it was. I did notice that was James's only bogey of this round. Lewis, backhand roller, just ran out of speed, but there's nothing over there except for a par.
Yeah, maybe a little bit flippier of a disc. It seems like he's trusting the cut for sure.
Yeah, he's really good at that angle, and he's getting plenty of practice at it today to become even better at it.
Dialed up and down too from him. Should be walking away with the par.
Yeah, Bryan way right here. Like, yes, he's just going to get up and down, but these guys both definitely turned their drives over. It wasn't just like the line wasn't the only issue with it. And then I thought I was closer than this and got up here and, oh, that's a great run. Let's just leave it 4 feet short with no speed.
Yeah, it really is easy to end up where Bryan and Justin did because this one's longer. You're trying to flex it out a little bit, get that extra carry off the tee, and, they found themselves out of bounds.
It did play at 3.28, so it was the hardest hole.
And only gave up one birdie to Mr. Shade Harrison.
Yeah. I think if we all play it again, there's a lot more than one.
I think the fog made that hole tougher too, visually. Like, we walked up to that hole, and I tried to get a rangefinder reading on it, and it was so foggy, I got 7 feet. For whatever reason, I couldn't even hit the fairway, anything down there. It's kind of funny.
Yeah. The fog had definitely rolled back in at this point in the round. It was weird because it would come and it would go, and it would come and it would go. It didn't really burn off until, like 3 holes left in the second round or something.
Yeah, it was foggy, and then, just a little breeze would show up every once in a while and really rip through the clothes, make it a cold round.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I have the beanie on now, so it definitely had been blowing. Hole 13, 360, but probably plays more in that 400 range. I tried to go Onyx and left it quite a bit short, 30 short or whatever. This was a change from a couple years ago, and it's proven to not be the easiest shot.
I really like this hole. This one's one of those ones where you can go fairway, you can go distance driver, but you just want to come just in front of that big tree, and on a pushing hyzer line, you should end up on the green.
You can't hit the big tree. If you hit it, especially the right side of it, you're not going to have a putt. Justin goes probably PD. Yeah, I think that's PD2. And ends up over by my Onyx. So we both have putts. They're okay. We're just both outside the circle. Bryan DD3.
Yeah, so he's smoothing that one out. I'd guess that's a DD3 from him, and just doesn't quite come back in enough.
Just comes up a little short, but it's makeable. I think that branch is really in play. I would struggle with that putt. Maybe because I'm outside the circle I'd have a chance, but I really admire players that can stand and fire like 60-footers under a branch and keep it on line the whole way, because it's never something that I've been really able to do.
Yeah, no, that low ceiling putt from distance was a tough one for me. I definitely can't do it like that. As you just said, spin it in from distance.
Yeah, that's my range. That's my 37 foot. We're going to get the slow-mo replay of it. Make sure the disc is out of your hand. Right in the pole. That one felt good. The purple putter is heating up because the pink ones were cold.
Yeah, definitely starting to make that adjustment. Good one to get.
Yeah. Lewis, from the closest spot, must be just right at the edge of the circle.
Bang.
Dude, just all day has been automatic.
Yeah, he looks comfortable with those roaches.
Yeah, should have switched a lot earlier. Switched to the good plastic, making putts.
Yeah, he knows what's up now. And he's throwing the roaches too. He went from putting XDs, throwing XDs, living and dying by the XD. He's got a TI roach in the bag that he absolutely loves.
Okay.
He's got this blue huck-dyed one that he just tossed in the bag, he said, and he was showing it to me before the round. And I was like, the roach sometimes feels a little deep for me, especially for a thrower, but I don't know what it was. Felt super nice. It was like, I might need to take this from you, Lewis. This feels good.
Through 13 holes, Lewis and I are tied at 500. Justin's at 4, and Bryan is at 2, still in the round, though. So real quick, we're going to kick it off to a sponsor, and we'll be right back. All right, new hole or changed hole for this year due to some muddy conditions that we've always had kind of a bad tee pad. We didn't really know how this one was going to play because no one threw it beforehand, but there ended up being a few lines and kind of some tough/cool shots to play.
Yeah, I appreciate the change. Previously, this one played cart path and left out of bounds, so this shot was not even really brought into play because of the difficulty. If you mess that up, you are re-teeing.
Yeah, that was a crystal buzz. When I said there was a lot of options, this wasn't one that was on top of my mind. I don't know if we can stress to the audience watching how hard it is to controlled throw cut rollers. That roller's supposed to go to the right, not to the left.
I'm still my jaw's on the floor still. I'm just now picking it up. That, again, there's a line over there. I watched Proctor take the swing hyzer shot out there, and he put it down in circle one, but the cut roller just, I'd never think of it. I threw roller to the left side to on the same kind of angle that you did. That's just not the shot I would throw here, but Lewis nailed it.
Yeah, and this is that one got a tiny bit sneaky from where it was going and thankfully ran into a tree because that was cooked.
Fantastic tree. That was 90 past it. He smoked that one.
Too strong for the game. Brian's like, oh, okay, Lewis, we'll take the same line, except mine will be in the air when yours is on the ground.
Yeah, that's the shot I would see.
Yeah, because that's the shot.
It just doesn't make sense to me. I love throwing the roller. Don't get me wrong, but there's right now, what Lewis is doing with it, he's impressing me.
Yeah. I was happy that it ended up here. Again, had never thrown it before, so to go the big turnover, I didn't really know what disc to throw or how hard to throw it. the buzz ended up coming up about 30 short, and it was able to capitalize. You talk about a good break. Justin was going back by that fence.
Yeah, I watched a forehand. Oh, Justin. Yeah, I watched a forehand on my card down the left side, taking the line that you did, and DJ Harrington smoked his, again, over by the fence, just a little too much pop. I think he threw distance driver, and afterwards he just said, I should have thrown a Raptor. That was way too much disc.
Yeah, I mean, the hole's 280. We were pretty sure that's what it was anyway. It wasn't over 300 for sure. But DJ and Justin both have really big forehands, so if they catch one off their hand, it can come off really fast.
Absolutely. We're moving over to hole... Well,
15.
after hole... Yeah, 15. That's the one that comes after 14. But after 14, you and Lewis at 6 under par. Looking for a strong finish down the stretch here. There's definitely some opportunities to get.
Yeah.
But hole 15 is...
Signature hole
this
on
is
this
the
course, maybe?
Yeah, definitely, potentially aesthetically, if it's not super foggy. I was trying to remember, because these next two holes always get me the order they come in. But I love this hole, and you made a great change with this year, stretching it out. We used to tee off from the front of this golf tee pad. It was about 280 feet, but it's stretched back. I got the rangefinder on this one at 345.
Yeah, that's what I had it at too. I think the 330 was just a guess. I was thinking about it because I was like, man, it's like 315 to carry the water. Like, do I want to throw Raptor or Machete, or do I want to go Force? I went Force, thankfully, because there was a lot of discs in the water.
Yeah, you might have seen mine. I just threw mine in there right beforehand. A nice, beautiful Withers Buzz OS.
Oh, no. Well, Justin took the water out of play, so.
Yeah, and that's not the water that people even bring into play.
No, he was 100 feet left to the basket. Just, I mean, he'll acknowledge it. He just rolled his wrist on it. It was a really bad shot. He picked a good time to throw it so bad that he could get left of all the water and make a par.
Oh, wow. I was ready to say that was huge. Brian's putter is looking nice right now. So as soon as he just dials it in just a little bit more, I feel like he's going to be raining in putts today.
It always looks like it's going in. It just, the way he putts, I always feel like it flashes the basket one way or the other.
Purple putter stays hot.
Yeah, really started to put it together finally after a super, super slow start. This hole played just a little bit over par for the MPO field, and I would guess as the divisions got, we'll say, lower rated, it probably played significantly more over par.
Yeah, like I said, great change. Like, this used to be a pretty stock, like, mid-range, almost like putter shot from where the previous tee was at. But this one really makes you, bring some more control into your shot, worrying about the golf green and the bunkers deep, but still stretching over that water.
Yeah. I love how there's hazard just outside the circle on every side. I'm not a big fan of inside the circle hazards or OBs, but that one was definitely, it just has, the area just set up perfect for us to have the basket 35 feet from the bunkers, 35 feet from the green, 35 feet from the water. So we moved to a brand new hole, hole 16. This one, I feel like we change it every year because we've never found anything great with it. This might be a semi-permanent change for it, I guess.
Oh, I like the old one. Like the turnover shot to the under the trees with the little mound behind it. That was a favorite of mine.
It was just so wet over there, just standing water everywhere, and we couldn't play it.
It was. I think last year my card just said, whoever makes the putt, like, everyone just leave your putters. Last person to have to tap out, whether you miss your putt and have to go tap out, just grab everyone's discs.
We have it on video last year for this tournament of Chris nailing a huge putt and then going up to try to grab it out of the basket, slipping, and the basket actually saving him from completely eating it in the mud.
I like
Bryan?
this line for Bryan. Just pushing that tree, just clips it a little bit, but really, like, pushing that tree as much as possible.
Yeah, but see how short he ended up by just touching the tree? Like, I kind of think this hole plays pretty well. Like, the tree's in the right spot.
It definitely is. And I figured out afterwards you can go around the backside of that tree if you wanted to. If you really if you stretch it out,
Okay.
you're going to come just around the backside on that, standing up on that green with the tee pad, I should say.
There's a little headwind coming up on this putt, and it was honestly one that I was standing there and didn't think I was going to make and kind of had some doubt about it, and purple putter stays hot.
Absolutely. And Lewis's roaches cooled off.
Yeah. Man, Justin ends up just far enough right to have a clean putt out of that hedge.
I watched DJ make an insane putt on my card. He went wide right, threw a little cooked approach into that bush, and he was maybe 17 feet from the basket, but he had to get completely in the bush to the point where we were standing there and we just occasionally see his arm flash out, and he somehow found a way to spin it in and save a par, and it was pretty remarkable. No one even could see him in the bush, really. But sweet.
We've got green. Two. Yeah, for sure. And it being on the mound and everything, it played pretty well. 2 holes to go in our first round here. 17, completely stock forehand shot if you have it. The coolest thing about this hole is the green and the trees around it. If you park the hole, no worries. If you don't, you're always going to have a tricky putt.
Yeah, I like this hole, especially coming down the stretch.
Yeah, I'm going Z Machete, and the whole time I'm just thinking, like, don't hit the path, don't hit the path, don't hit the path. And thankfully I missed the path by, like, 6 inches.
Yeah, I flirted with it, too. And if you hit that path, you better then just hope you hit one of those trees to not rock it into that fairway.
Yeah.
But you also have to keep it close in those trees because there's angles, like Justin might have a lot of trouble on that one.
Yeah, out a little early from Lewis. It's like a TL, maybe a Leopard 3. I'm not.
I know he's a big leopard guy. I do know that. He likes leopards and T-birds.
It's got the Proto Star stamp on it, so I'm not positive what it is. And then Bryan with.
Throw forehand.
I would kind of question the play here. I think that his forehand's good enough and his lefty backhand's good enough. I didn't really understand the righty backhand on this.
Long look.
He hits chains. Almost again bangs a big one after an errant drive.
Come on, Lewis. What is this?
This is a Lewis Nava show, ladies and gentlemen. Just put the putts into a reel and let's see them all at the same time. Someone's got to make it happen.
Yeah, this will make up for the short he missed in the last hole.
It's pure. It doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, he's spinning it nice right now and getting the birdies.
Oh, Justin, he said it was clean. We couldn't really tell from where we were standing, but it definitely looks like it was, and it was a misfire.
Yeah, great drive by you there. Just keeping it simple. Nice little tap in.
Yep. This hole played decently easy at 2.63. Way more birdies than bogeys. It just... I like it. Just it's so much fun with the green area. Maybe we could stretch it out a few more feet, but in reality, I love watching people have to putt on that hole if you don't throw a good drive, and I've definitely been there before.
Yeah, that's the right kind of design on a golf course. Is even if you have a simple distance driver or fairway driver like tee shot, that you can make the difficulty on the green without bringing artificial or kind of silly out of bounds into play.
Final hole of the first round, hole 18, 600 feet par 4, and this is one that you need to get. There's OB on the path and right, and then there is a bunker and a green and some OB long if you do decide to throw it like 30 past the basket, but really anything that gets in play here is going to give you just a Stockheiser upshot into the green.
I can't remember how dry this fairway was, But this is a hole that has a long eagle potential, because you can it's right at that 600-foot mark. A big drive and a good putt could definitely bring someone a two.
I think if it was dry, there's a couple of us that could probably get a roller down, and Lewis with his angle being one of them. They could get something in like the 50 to 80 foot range and have a putt.
Bryan just
Everyone's
keeping it clean, and right there. That's all you need to do on this hole, because like we said, it's
yeah.
not overly long. He's just got I think this is a zone from him into the basket.
Yeah, everyone was fine there. And I would say most common spot to end up for your birdie putt is kind of right where he did, because everyone just naturally avoids this bunker on the right.
Yeah, you come up to this and there's just trees down the left side, and you think, oh, there's all this airspace to the right. Let me throw this right at the basket with an overstable disc.
I keep underestimating how overstable that Buzz OS that's in my bag is, though. And all four of us, we're all going to have that 20-footer to end. They're makeable, but, like I said, this is just where most upshots end up, I feel like.
Good putt from Lewis to finish.
Huge shout out to Curtis Moroni on the catch cam. Did a lot of work for us to use 4 clips that he videoed the whole day. So thank you, Curtis, for busting your butt out there.
Yeah, he was running around those fairways getting all those catch cam shots. It's not always as necessary on the golf course because you can see the flight of most of the discs. There's no blind shots, but it's great to see the green sometimes and where they're ending up, especially with out of bounds.
Yep. Lewis and I both good putts. Bryan, I think he would like to have at least a portion of this round back.
Yeah, he was close to really putting something real solid down.
Yeah, just little mistakes here and there. We've all been there. We all have those days, and we got a whole nother round to make a move and kind of jump up on the leaderboard. But after 18 holes, I thankfully salvaged that back nine a little bit, going, I think, 7 under par on it. Lewis, 4 under in the front, 4 under on the back to get to 8. Justin Anderson, 4 under in the front, 2 under on the back, I believe, to go to 6. And then Bryan ends the round at 2. Like I said, he's got some time to go. Yeah. We have one more round. This is a B tier that you play 2 totally different courses on. So what's your thoughts heading into round 2?
I mean, you got a different course coming up in the afternoon, slightly different play style, a lot of longer holes. It's anyone's game still. Proctor's at 11 down, you're at 10, Lewis is at 8. People can get hot on the other course as well. You have also the possibility for just those low double-digit scores. So we'll see a sweet lead card here and see who can put it together and run down the win.
Hey guys, Collin here with CH Sports. I just wanted to give a huge shout out to my coverage sponsors. These videos would not be able to come to life without these people's help, so I really appreciate it. There's plans starting as low as $3 a month, and every single dollar helps grow the channel. If you would like to see your name or business listed in the credits of every single one of my videos, please head over to patreon.com/chsports.